Hello Falcons. In this video, I'm going to run you through the Bright Futures Scholarship. So, to start, I'm going to go to the school website and we're going to go to Financial Aid Guides because the Bright Futures is a financial aid scholarship. And you're going to scroll down to all you need to know about the Bright Futures Scholarship. Okay, once you're here, you can read through the section. We basically summarize the key points of the scholarship and the different awards. But if you want the in-depth breakdown, let's start with this first Orange link, which will take you to a PDF that says Bright Futures Student Handbook, Chapter 1, Initial Eligibility Requirements. So let's run through the requirements real quick. So you have to be a Florida resident and a US citizen or eligible non-citizen. So what this means is if you have your green card, you're good. But also if you have an I-94 with certain labels on the I-94, you're also fine. So definitely check with your institution that you want to renew the scholarship for, and chances are you're going to qualify. You have to complete the Florida financial aid application in your senior year. So if you're not a senior yet, you don't have to worry about that. But keep that in mind that you actually have to apply for the award. It's not an automatic award. And then you have to earn a standard Florida high school diploma. This just means you have to graduate. And you have to not be guilty of any crimes. So, stay out of that kind of stuff. And you should be accepted by and enroll in a degree or certificate program at an eligible Florida public or independent post-secondary institution. This just means you're basically attending a college or university in Florida. You cannot use Bright Futures at out-of-state colleges, although you can use it to negotiate with out-of-state colleges. Like, I know someone who negotiated with Georgia Tech, and they got a better financial aid offer because they leveraged the Bright Futures with the Georgia Tech, and they told them, like, why should I go to your school? And they got more money. So, that's definitely another option if you're trying to go out of state. And the rest of this is kind of not really important. Okay, so there's two major sort of awards for the Bright Future Scholarship. So you have the Florida Academic Scholar, FAS, and the Florida Medallion Scholar, which is FMS. And both of them have similar requirements, but to a lesser degree, because your FAS will cover 100% of tuition at an eligible college, while this one covers 75% of eligible tuition. So, you know, they're both very, very important awards, but if you can go the extra mile, 100% is more than 75%. So okay, so the major requirements, academic requirements, are the fact that you should definitely graduate. So graduation is very important. Complete the required high school coursework, which is outlined here. So you need 4 English, 4 mathematics, 3 natural science, 2 social science, 2 world language. Those are taken care of by your graduation requirements. So if you graduate, you basically meet these credits. So that's basically like a 2-in-1, like you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then you have your GPA requirement. So, it's important to keep your GPA up, but they're not expecting you to be like, straight A's like every single quarter. 3.5 for FAS, 3.0 for FMS. So definitely know what your GPA is, especially as you enter senior year, and plan your classes accordingly. Like if you're not so certain about a certain class, like maybe don't take that class if you're on the brink of maybe like a 3.49 and you just need an extra boost to get the 3.5 GPA. And there is the SAT, ACT requirement, which we will come back to for ACE students. You don't have to worry about that, but we'll come back to that. But for now, you need a 29 or a 1340 on the SAT or a 96 on the CLT for FAS. And for FMS, it's a bit more lax. So you have 25 on the ACT, 84 on the CLT, and 1210 on the SAT. And I guess they give 2 years, but they haven't really changed from last year to this year, so that's fine. And okay, so we have volunteer, so service hours. The thing with service hours is, let's say you have a job, and you have more than 100 hours from your job. Well, you can use that to satisfy this requirement. So you only need one of these. You don't need both of them. So you either do community service for 100 hours or paid work for 100 hours. And so 100 is for FAS and 75 is for FMS. But note that if you're using work hours, you need 100 hours for both of them. So remember, like, don't stop at 75 just because this one goes to 75. That's just a key nuance. And then we have combination of volunteer and paid hours. So I think there is a new policy where you're allowed to combine the two to meet the 100-hour credit. But here, if you're going to do that, you need 100 hours for both of them. And basically, the way the scholarship works is if you meet these requirements, you're guaranteed a scholarship. This is not something where you're put into running and finalists are chosen and stuff like that. You are guaranteed the scholarship, especially if you attend a Florida school. And that's why this is so important to know about and, like to keep in your mind as regardless of if you're a junior, a senior, sophomore, freshman. It's never too, would you say early or late? It's never too late never too early to start, sorry about that. It's never too early to start thinking about this. So those are the academic requirements and high school course credits. So this part is basically just saying that the world language requirement can be met by demonstrating proficiency based on scores. So if you don't have the two, like world language, foreign language credits, you can place out of those by taking exams. For example, the AP Spanish exam, I think, helps you to place out of those requirements. And then your high school GPA, well, that just actually outlines how. So Bright Futures doesn't calculate your GPA the same way that your school does. They only look at your core courses, so they say the following courses are weighted 0.25 per semester course or 0.5 per year course. So basically AP courses, IB courses, pre-IB courses, honors, pre-advanced, ACE courses, which we're going to come back to, and dual enrollment are all worth a bit more. So if you get a B in those classes, it's not going to affect you as much as if you get a B in a regular high school class. So keep that in mind. And many times your state GPA for your high school was actually lower than your Bright Futures GPA, which is a good thing, right? Because your Bright Futures GPA is basically weighted a bit more, so it's kind of easier to meet the GPA requirement. So, yeah. And college entrance exams. So we have, like, these are always a hot topic, SAT, ACT, CLT. Definitely, I would say if you could, take a try at all of them and see which one really suits your style and then focus on that exact test. Don't try to take all three tests. You only need one test to meet the requirement. And so now we will talk about the ACE diploma. So if you are not confident in your SAT or ACT or CLT abilities, you can pursue the ACE diploma, which more information is on our website, and also you should probably talk to your guidance counselor if you're trying to pursue your ACE diploma. The thing is, if you have the ACE diploma, which has 7 ACE courses, 2 from each group, one of which includes ACE Global Perspectives, you basically do not have to worry about the SAT aspect for Bright Futures. So if you get the ACE diploma, it's a very valuable thing, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it also meets the requirement for GPA. So you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone again with the ACE diploma. And so if that's something you're interested in, definitely talk to your counselor. And the rest of this just talks more about what really counts as paid work hours and volunteer service. And you can read more about that, but it's kind of self-explanatory. The guidance department has the forms for both volunteer service and paid work hours. You just have to get either your employer or your volunteer supervisor to sign them and return it. And once you reach 100 hours, you've met that requirement. And so this part also talks about national merit and other scholarships related to Bright Futures, which I'm not going to get into, but it's very interesting and there's a lot of money here. If you're interested, definitely check those out. And so that's the first link. So let's go back to the website. And so as you can see, the website also outlines, brief summaries of each award. and the important things are in bold. And so, yeah, let's go to the second link, which is just part 3 of the handbook. Let's just see if there's any important information in this part of the handbook. So, it's the same requirements as last time. Okay, this tells us more about the award. So, what are you actually getting out of the scholarship? Well, Bright Futures recipients who do not receive funding immediately following high school graduation must apply within 5 years. So what this means is you could receive funding for up to 5 years from high school graduation. So if you don't qualify the first year, you could qualify the second year. So definitely, this is a very flexible option. It's not like if you don't qualify, like, out of high school, you're never going to get this award. So keep that in your mind. And number of FAS FMS hours funding available. 100% of program of study. This just means whatever major you are, whatever program you choose in college, it will cover the full tuition or 75% tuition, whichever award you got. And it doesn't matter what program you're in, like, it'll cover basically whatever the tuition costs are. But it's important to note that Bright Futures does not cover the entire cost of college, because the cost of college has both tuition and room and board. And so this obviously covers most of it, which is tuition. There is also room and board, so you also need to apply to other scholarships and look at other awards from schools, because this scholarship does not cover the entire college experience, as there are some misconceptions where people think Bright Futures is a full ride to any Florida university. It's not. There is room and board, but let's say you get into USF, right? And you can live at home and commute to USF. You're not gonna pay them for room and board. Like you're living at your home. So, like, but if you want to live on college, of course, room and board is a cost you have to, you know, keep in your mind. So I'm just saying that. Okay, and this just gives you some credit hour award, which I think is a bit too much detail for this video, and I think that covers the major portions of what I wanted to cover. And I'll just say, if we go back to the thing, definitely know about Bright Futures, but also definitely check out our other guides. We have the FAFSA guide and institutional aid guide, which is also important to cover those two things, room and board. And, you know, thanks for watching, and I wish you the best of luck on your journey to college and beyond. Thank you.